What is up, guys? NBA Thinker back with a new video, and for this one I wanted to bring you guys my MVP prediction for the next NBA season. Now from the thumbnail alone, you guys can pretty much guess who are two of the people who I think are in the top 3 best position to win the MVP this next NBA season. And so obviously 2 of the top 3 people who I believe have the best chance to contend for the MVP this season are 1. LeBron James, and 2. Kawhi Leonard. But before I reveal my obvious MVP choice as hinted in my thumbnail in the NBA player in the shadow, I want to talk about who I believe are the 2 closest NBA players that will be the closest runner-ups to the MVP race this next NBA season. First off, I want to start with the person who I believe has the 3rd best chance for winning the MVP next NBA season, and that is Kawhi Leonard, not of the San Antonio Spurs, but now of the Toronto Raptors, given the trade that transpired during the offseason. Now, even as early as last season, Kawhi Leonard could have possibly brought home the MVP trophy last year, given that the Spurs ended with a decent record. Might I add, that was without Kawhi Leonard for most of the season. And let's not forget just some of the accolades that Kawhi Leonard has been able to accomplish so far in his 7-year career in the NBA. To make my point, Kawhi Leonard is a 1-time NBA champion, 1-time Finals MVP, 2-time NBA All-Star, 2-time All-NBA First Team, a 2-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year, 3-time All-NBA First Team, an NBA All-Defensive Second Team, and NBA All-Rookie First Team, and an NBA Steals Leader. Now, those accolades alone pretty much show that Kawhi Leonard is an MVP caliber player, especially given that they were all accumulated within 7 years of Kawhi's first 7 NBA season. Now, another reason why I think Kawhi Leonard is absolutely primed to win MVP next season, or at least he has the 3rd best chance, is because he'll be on a stacked Raptors team who, with DeMar DeRozan, pretty much dominated the East. But if you think about it, you swap out DeMar DeRozan for Kawhi Leonard and you pretty much have an even better Raptors team, especially given the fact that Kawhi Leonard is a much better defender than DeMar DeRozan could have ever hoped to become. One thing to keep in mind is that if Kawhi Leonard does not remain healthy for the next NBA season, everything I pretty much just says goes down the hole, because everything is predicated that Kawhi Leonard is healthy. But when healthy, Kawhi Leonard is not only a top 3 candidate for the MVP, he is a top 2 NBA player or top 3 NBA player in the league. The player who I think has the 3rd best chance for winning the MVP is Kawhi Leonard. Now let's move on. As the player with the 2nd best chance for winning the MVP, of course I have LeBron James, who is now part of the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, the simplest reason why LeBron James could possibly win MVP next year is because he is LeBron James. LeBron James could have arguably won MVP for most of the years he has played in the NBA at his prime. And guess what? LeBron James is still at his prime, given the stat line that he posted up last NBA season, where a lot of people casted him off as not going to be able to be as productive as he was in previous years. Now, some of the biggest concerns with LeBron James and the Lakers team is that he's playing with a bunch of old vets and a couple of young guys in the Lakers who aren't necessarily the best teammates to have, although his situation is not necessarily a bad one. But I think if LeBron James, I'm actually very sure if LeBron James was able to take this sorry Cleveland team to the finals, he is more than capable than doing the same for a Lakers team that has some pretty promising young talent in Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, and yes, even Lonzo Ball, who apparently has fixed his jump shot over the summer, which will make the Lakers even better if Lonzo Ball is able to become a semi-threat from the perimeter. And so for me, LeBron James has the 2nd best chance to win MVP this next NBA season. And with all that said, guys, the player who I think will win MVP this next NBA season is Giannis Antetokounmpo. I probably said that wrong, but at least I tried. Now, Giannis has several NBA seasons where he's been posted solid numbers all around, but it really wasn't until last year where Giannis took a huge step in his stats, actually coming in 6th in MVP voting. And I'm sure Giannis would have finished even higher than 6th place in MVP voting had his team not finished in 6th place in terms of their standing in the NBA last season. And given that the LeBron has pretty much left the East for the West, Giannis' chances of moving up the ladder in the MVP race are much better, given that I project them to be at least in the top 4 seeds for the Eastern Conference. Another reason why I believe Giannis will be MVP next NBA season is because of the much improved roster of the Milwaukee Bucks with their recent additions of the perimeter threat Ersan Ilyasova, who came from the Philadelphia 76er, the much to be seen but yet has shown a lot of potential in Dante DiVincenzo, who came from Villanova fresh off a championship, and as well as some other minor additions like Pat Connaughton and other people. Another reason why I believe Giannis will win MVP next season, even though it's an obvious one, is that he'll have much better chance now, or he'll have much more experience this year than last year to develop a better chemistry with his teammates like Eric Bledsoe, who's pretty much a new addition given that he's only been playing with them 1 year, and better chemistry with Chris Middleton and the core that they have at this point. So I absolutely expect Giannis next year to make some noise, to shake up the NBA, and to win the MVP next season. But let me know if you guys agree or completely disagree in the comment section below. And that's pretty much all I have for this video, guys. My MVP prediction for the next NBA season. As always, guys, thank you for listening. Stay subscribed for new upcoming content. Hit that bell icon if you want to have notifications when my videos come out right away. And as always, remember, guys, to get your thinking on.